We're going to show you how to change this door latch for a cargo bay area, which is pretty easy on a Grand Design Solitude 377 NB. And so it'll be a piece of cake, real simple tools, just one tool, a Phillips screwdriver. And also we're going to show you how to change this one valve that could be a potential danger to the bay area of all getting wet, because it has a history of breaking for what it has now, which I believe is plastic from the stories that we've heard on Facebook. We're going to show you how to do these things, so stay tuned. We're going to show you how to replace this. So what happened was that this door handle for this latch broke on us, and this is a pretty hefty piece of aluminum. So what happened was that we ended up using this vice grip in order to keep it latched until we ordered the lock. Now here's the thing though, we went to eTrailer in order to get the same combination key, so like that we can have one key for all the locks instead of having multiple. Unfortunately, it took over 2 months in order to get the lock, and then once I got it, it was the wrong lock. So needless to say, we had to cancel that order after waiting, I think it was almost like 10 weeks. After waiting 10 weeks, we ended up getting it on eBay, and you can see right here, this is, you have 2 choices on eBay in what to get. And so we are going with different keys. Unfortunately, we just didn't want to wait any longer because it becomes an inconvenience, especially for my wife, in order to use the vice grip to get in and out here. So we're going to show you, all it takes is this tool. It's a simple Phillips screwdriver. Some of you call it a star bit. Its technical term is Phillips. And we're going to go ahead and take 4 screws off and then take this apart. All right, so let me show you how. So you guys can see this here. So what we're going to do is, so right here, these are the 4 screws that we're going to take out, and then this should pop out. So let's do this here. Don't lose these screws because we're going to be using it on the new. Comes right out. Boom. This is about 1 inch thick, and that's what it looks like in the inside. So this is the one part. We're going to go ahead and put it right here. It should fit. Yep. Perfect. As you can see there, it fits perfectly. The other part, and then it goes underneath. Just got to make sure you lined her up good. Boom. So this would accommodate up to 1.25 inches, I believe. Then we're going to take the screws. For right now, I'm just making them snug. Now I'll cinch it down. So it's locked, so I'm going to unlock it. You can see how it operates the latch. So with the moment of truth, we'll lock it. We're going to go ahead and lock it. There she be. This has got a gasket around there so it won't leak. I probably would venture to say is that if you would take a clear caulk and put it all the way around, just so the water won't go in there, would be ideal. So finally we got her done. Again, just go to eBay and look at those numbers, put the information, you have your choice. And I figure that the cheaper one is just a few dollars. I didn't want the wording on there, so you can go either way. So 1 down, now 2 to go. Now we're gonna go in the bay and replace that nozzle. So you gotta make sure you turn the water off, otherwise it'll keep running. So when you depressurize, it should be very little. There it is. Now the pressure's off. Remember, I have this quick little setup here. Take the pin out. I want to control the flow that's going to come out. Woo. It's doing its job, the anno rod. See how it's attacking it instead of the tank? You can see all the crud coming out there. I'm not going to empty the whole thing out. I think that's enough water. I'll put this back in. That's closed. Now I'm going to go on the inside and take that one screw off. So you have a little arrow on this, and that arrow is pointing this way. So you want the water as it comes out that way. And notice that I already put the Teflon on there. There you go. It's nice and snug. Now we're going to put this one on. This plastic, I'm going to leave it as is. And this one, we're going to go finger tight, but we're going to give it just a tiny bit with the wrench. What I'm going to do is turn the water on and just make sure it's nice and tight. I turn the water on, then I make sure that I open the relief valve and water was coming out. So as you can see, it's pretty dry, all done. So this here is plastic, and I just didn't want to take any chances of having anything breaking, spilling all over. But I can always check it later without taking the wall because I got acrylic that I can see through. So guys, I hope this helped. Give us a thumbs up if you like this video. So have you ever had a situation where you're getting a smell, just don't know where it's coming from? And you check the black tank, you check the gray tank, and it's frustrating. Well, there's an area that you can check, and that is under your kitchen sink and your bathroom sink. They have this thing here. This is an inline vent, as you can see, and what it's meant is for air not to escape. You can probably see a spring right inside, and that spring is meant to keep that little lever down so the gases won't escape. The problem with that spring is it weakens out and it doesn't keep that door shut, and by that happening the gases will come about. So it's a process of elimination. What we ended up doing was taking the plastic out of the shower drain, and sure enough it was the bathroom sink that was smelling. And so once we figured that out, that's when we went ahead and purchased these from Amazon, which you'll see the link in our description, that if you would be inclined to purchase with our link, we would get a small commission from it, and it won't cost you any more. But they have packages of either 1 or 3, and I recommend for you to get the 3. It's, you know, still a reasonable price, and so like that you can replace both if you have a kitchen and a sink, and then have one extra. But let me show you how easy it is, because it's just threaded, and literally you unscrew it and screw it back on. But let me show you where it's at underneath the bathroom sink. So there it is, right here. This piece right here is what you would unscrew and screw it back in. A lot of people wouldn't see that because it's typically not something you would see in a house, but that's the vent for an RV. Every bathroom and kitchen sink has one. If you're in the shower and sometimes the water is just not spraying enough, I don't know how many of you have had that situation. So I'm going to show you a couple of techniques that you can resolve that. One, sometimes it could be if you have one of these type of shower heads, it could be this button here that's not pressed all the way. It gives you more water, but even with that, still enough, not pressure, even though you got maybe 50 psi or 60 psi outside. I'm going to show you another trick that you can do. In here, there is a water regulator inside, and what you do is you unscrew the head. I'll do it here. You guys can see this. Put this here. Right there. See, it's only got 3 holes. I don't know if you guys can see that in the camera. So that's a water regulator that regulates how much water goes into the head. What you can do, maybe get a screwdriver or a pick or something and just pick it out. There you go. So that's a regulator there. So now you have more of a force in there. So now we're going to go ahead and put this back in. Screw this back in. Now this also becomes a regulator the size of your holes of the exit of your shower. So let's put this back. You can hear it, and it's hitting a little further. Once you change the air vent, here's a suggestion, is to take white vinegar, distill white vinegar, and also take some baking soda, and you pour it down in here, and that'll clean up this whole pipe that goes into the gray tank. Now I did take the P-trap, cleaned it out separately, and now to go through the tubing, this would be the best recommendation, and it works great. Now I don't use measuring cups. As you can see, I have that strainer here, so I'm going to keep that strainer there, and I'm just going to go ahead and just pour just enough. It'll be like that. Again, I don't use measuring cups, and you may want to do this a couple of times, and then just go ahead and pour your vinegar, and you see it sudsing up, doing its thing, and you'll see a big improvement on that. I'm just going to go ahead and do it one more time. Just pour it like that. There she be. If you want to do a little bit of rinse, you can. In the description below, tell us if you tried it and how it worked for you. Hope this helps.